guys, Nightshade here. And I was just watching a TikTok, and the whole TikTok was talking about how what's something that happened to you when you were a kid that you knew was the right thing and you did the right thing, but grown-ups said you did the wrong thing. And it made me remember this story. And what it is that, for trigger warnings, this is about unaliving oneself and hurting oneself, like that. So it's not something you want to listen to, so I'm just going to say that now. But what had happened is that when I was younger, my mom's best friend, and we're going to name her P, had a daughter, B. Now, B was born, and I watched her from she was 5 weeks old all the way up till she was 5 years old, and she was 5 years old when I was a sophomore in high school. So I'm not entirely sure, but her exact birthday, because all I remember about it is, one, I was young, but two, I remember that she was born on the 27th of September, and her mom's birthday was on the 28th, and then my birthday was 29th, and that's how I kind of remembered it. But when B was born, I had watched her all the time, because her mom still had to work. After only 5 weeks, her maternity leave was up, she had to go back to work. I was just a little kid at home, and I physically took care of myself for years at this point. And she lived right next to us, so it wasn't that far. I was still close to home. If I needed my mom to help me with something, I was still close enough that I could go to someone and get the help I needed. So I was supposed to be watching her, and this incident happened. This incident actually ended my babysitting of my god sister, because my mom was named her godmother, and at that time I didn't understand it. So I kept saying to everyone, "I have a little god sister. I have a little god sister," not understanding very much, and I understand it now a little bit better, but then I didn't understand it all. So I was just bragging to everyone, "I got a god sister. I got a god sister," like it was this big deal, and I didn't understand it. So what had happened is that I went to school with this one girl, and I'm going to call her T for the story. T was someone who came from a very troubled home, and she ended up getting kicked out the day that my babysitting ended for when the story happened. She ended up getting kicked out. So all throughout the school day, she was perfectly happy and fine, but when the school day ended, I noticed her kind of looking at the door. Now, I was supposed to rush out of school and head home, and since I lived right behind my high school at this time, it was like a 2-minute walk. It wasn't that far for me. And I knew that P had to get to work, and I needed to babysit B. But T was not okay. Something about her attitude, if you ever notice someone who wants to unalive themselves, they have a certain attitude. And something about it just set me off. Now, I'm someone who deals with that, so I do understand, and I've seen it in other people. I will stop and ask you, "Hey, are you okay? I can see that you're not okay. You're acting, something's not right. Do you need to sit here and talk? Do you need someone to listen? Do you need me to call someone for you?" And I've done this to random people. When I worked at Walmart, if I saw someone who physically did not look okay coming into the store, I would go up to you and say, "Hey, can I help you find something?" And I would keep you talking, trying to get you to calm down. And so what happened is that I was supposed to babysit B, but T was really upset. So at my high school, we had the double doors. You know, like inside of malls, you have one set of doors you enter, then there's a second set, and then you actually enter the building. So we had the double doors. As we were going through and everything, and doing that, we stopped in between the doors. And she asked if we could sit down and talk for a minute, because she knew I was a really sympathetic person. I had talked to a lot of people, and a lot of people at my high school there understood that I'm willing to talk to you, I'm willing to let you talk and say whatever you need, because I'm very, very compassionate. And so she starts telling me about what had happened that night. Turns out her whole family had ganged up on her and kicked her out. I don't know the whole story. I never spoke to the family. To be honest, after I got her help, this girl was not in high school anymore with me, and I never saw her again. I am happy I told a teacher that day, but I don't know whatever happened to her. Because the next year I ended up moving, so I really could never have known, because this all happened on the last 3 days of school, and for the last 2 days I did not actually go to classes because I was in the process of moving, so I don't know what happened after this day. But what had happened then is that she started going on about how her family had just kicked her out, how she didn't know what to do, she didn't know where to turn, she was so upset, family said she was a failure, that she wanted to look at ways to unalive herself. And during this whole conversation, I had P calling me nonstop. She is mad at me because I'm not home yet to take care of B. I'm not there, she has to get to work. About halfway through this conversation, that's when I finally got angry. And I said, give me 1 second. I walked out the doors till we're outside. I called P and I told her, hey, there's a girl here who is talking about unaliving herself. I get you need to go to work, but out of these two situations, I will be helping her. You can be late to work today. She got so mad, and she told my mom, and my mom got mad. But in reality, after that, I went back in and I asked her, is there anyone I can call for you? And T told me, could you please go get an adult? Because I feel like I need someone to take me to a mental hospital. So I ran inside and I actually took this girl's hand and I pulled her up and I said, we will go to an adult together. Because I'm not leaving you here. I don't want to take this chance. And the principal was still at the school because as the school's day is ending, teachers are leaving, but the principal was the last one to always leave at my high school at least. And so she chose to stay. Throughout all of this, I still have P calling me, and then I had my mom calling me saying I'm being mean, I'm so horrible. But the whole time, I see this girl, my own age, crying, talking about this type of stuff, and physically not having anywhere to go. Out of those two situations, I decided that she needed me more than babysitting did. And it's not like P lost a job from this incident, she just got in trouble for missing a day. But I've called into work multiple times, and I can tell you, if you need to miss a day because something is more important like saving someone's life, then I don't see the problem. But to this day, she still says that she hates me for that one day. And I keep thinking about it, thinking, you may hate me, but I know T doesn't hate me. Because when we found the principal and I told her what had happened, she physically pulled T into the room, thanked me, and said, I will take care of it from here. And then I called them both back and I told them what happened. But to this day, they both will claim I was inside the wrong. And it made me think of that story when he brought it up, saying, is there any story that from the childhood you know you did the right thing, but others believe completely opposite and they're willing to throw you underneath the bus any chance they get? Because to this day, P will still claim that I was inside the wrong. Excuse me. But let me know down in the comment if you guys have any stories like that. I think it's interesting how people see a certain situation. But let me know. Thanks you guys for listening. Bye.